following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
Maybe we can steal the money. Why? So you can just lock me up? No. Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
In the hell do you think you are?
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
For how long?
Forever. Yeah, that's
No, please,
Let's have it.
You don't understand. This is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. Okay?
So, Oz, this week we are going to try something that, at least as far as I know, has never been done. We are going to do the unthinkable. We are going to try and build a perfect trilogy. Now, here are the rules while we try to build this perfect trilogy. We can only use trilogies, only use movies from trilogies. First movie has to be the first in the trilogy. The second has to be the sequel. And the third has to be the third. You cannot use any two movies out of the same franchise, or not franchise, but the same trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Oz, are you up to this task? You are the comic connoisseur, but this is going to be a tough one because this is all about movies.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't hear me. I said no. I'm definitely not up for this, but I love a challenge, so I'm always up for it. So,
Oz, what do you think makes up a great? What do you think it takes to make a great trilogy?
Well, I mean, even before that, you got to start asking what makes a great sequel, dude. You know, when you talked to me about this, I was like, man, this sounds kind of crazy. But then I started getting nerdy with it, and I will tell you, to this day, for me, there's some that kind of ebb and flow, and there's some like, wow, that was really cool. But to this day, I will tell you that to me the best. We're doing trilogy. The best sequel, that what it means to have an actual sequel, Cyborg. You had Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then you had Cyborg 2 that had basically all the big name stars now. Like Angelina Jolie was in that, dude, as a cyborg. It was crazy. It was a good movie, but yeah. You posed the argument. This thing is going to be fun, dude. You know, I think you know, the power of the trilogy is how well number one does, and if number two pays homage to it. Because people can be forgiven for number three, but if your number two ain't good, they're like, whatever. So I look forward to going to the examples of those.
Yeah, I agree. I think you have to start off with a good first movie. The second movie has to be fire.
Have to.
You know, and the second movie has to build on it, and you almost have to, I hate to say it, but you almost have to kind of build a universe and warrant a third movie. Whether it's...
Sure.
And I don't even mean like an extended universe, but you have to at least have an established universe in your trilogy for them to keep building on, because you're not going to be able to tell the same story. That's why a trilogy like Taken didn't work. because it did kind of grow the universe, but you kept telling the same story. There wasn't a lot of growth.
So Taken is basically the biggest ripoff of Die Hard.
Taken 1 is great.
Oh, it's so I have a certain particular amount of skills. Yes, absolutely, and your certain particular amount of skills was just to have that one movie.
I agree. You know what? No, I can take number 2. I can deal with number 2.
And no, but and you're always smart about these things. But I want to say this though, man. The thing that always bums me out and gets to me is this: that man, I am so sick of these I'm being a jerk. I apologize. Of these wheatgrass like executives who think that the moviegoers are stupid. Like you're going, hey John, if you're in John McClane, if you're in all these situations, dude, you got to think about your karma or something, man. It's just too much, Like if John and this other cat, the Taken cat, they're like, you got some PTSD, dude. Mm-hmm. It's basically like Kiefer Sutherland. If Kiefer Sutherland had to go through all those traumatic 24-hour events, they would have him, and he would be in a mental institution or be on some medication. I promise.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. So let me ask you. I'm gonna put you on the spot. If you had to pick only one trilogy to watch, what would it be?
Ooh, that is on the spot. My brain floods, man, because I got some serious critiques of Lord of the Rings, especially in light of what's going on in our world today. But like Lord of the Rings, you could have had some more black people and people of color. I know Middle Earth ain't just all white people down there.
Hold on. You say more. Was there a black person in Lord of the Rings?
Son, dude, look, I tell you this. I can legit.
You said more.
Oh no! Dude, Star Wars is going. Yo, man. At least in our galaxy, we got at least 2.
They're prominent.
Wait, hold up. We got 3. He got Lando, Rey's boy, and then the guard of Palpatine, and then the guard of the Queen or whatever. But dude, yeah, legit.
I forgot about her,
dude. So hold on, but wait.
And Jar Jar.
Yeah, and Jar Jar. But so legit, dude. Like Lord of the Rings, man. I love dragons. I love swords. I love chainmail. I love all that stuff, dude. I love it. But then I'm like, yo, really? You serious? So what is Middle Earth if that's what the landscape looks like?
Well, I mean,
unless they're trying to get kind of subliminal and be like, yo, y'all know the orgs are black people, right?
Come on, man. I really enjoy those movies so much. I do not want to. I don't want to think. Two Towers is one of my favorite movies.
So to answer your original question, like what's my favorite trilogy? I'm gonna tell you straight up, dude. Man, I went for to see the Lord of the Rings. Like that trilogy was a straight up ride, man. But then I'm like, yo, can one brother or sister have one ring?
Hey, look, we can't even get in. We can't even be a soldier in the background.
Yo, regular Scott, no. We can't even be in the Fellowship.
I expected that. Look, that's asking a lot. That would be asking a lot to be included in the Fellowship with an elf.
But listen to it, dude. Let Peep game. If we can't be in the Fellowship, that's like we can't even get the table. It's like, yeah, we're forever. It's like forever putting people of color, black people at the kids' table when we're having like Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner.
I mean, like when everybody split off after the Fellowship, we couldn't have them run into like just like a village or something. Like just show that they're black people in Middle Earth.
Even Game of Thrones was just like, all right, look, man, on this faraway land in the desert, this is where the black people are right now.
They did kind of do it like that, right? And they had
They
Samson.
totally-
Hey, look, they had Samson, the guy who played Samson from the Bible. They had him be the one that tried to turn on Daenerys.
Oh, I know, yeah. Well, of course, right? But so again, to answer your question, oh man, Lord, Peter Jackson, he's awesome. But if Peter Jackson would have just sprinkled some little treats in, dude, that would have been up there. But for that, you're not putting me on the spot, dude. My favorite trilogy, John Wick. Boom. That's it.
That's a great trilogy. I think John Wick is one of the few trilogies that each movie genuinely is better than the last movie. Or you can make an argument is better than the last movie.
I will never forget seeing John Wick on a plane going from, I think I was going from Richmond, Virginia to, I think, San Francisco or something. And I saw John Wick at 3 on the plane, and I was physically like moving in the seat and going, "Oh my God!" People were like, "Sir," But yeah, I'm sure the Sky Marshal was like, "Yeah, dude, I don't want to have to bust you, man. I'm watching the same movie." But yeah, dude, I think John Wick to me is a super solid trilogy. Now I'll tell you another one. I think it's actually 4 movies, but The Cube is a great set of trilogies for me too.
Okay. And before we get too deep into things and give you and create our perfect trilogies, allow me to set the table. This is Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC. I am your host, Regular Scott. I am here with my co-host, the comic connoisseur, the mighty Ozzy Killmonger. Oz, what's going on?
What is up, good people?
You can find us on Twitter at knee4marvelvsdc. That's the number 4. You can email us at knee4marvelvsdc@godefylife.com. We actually have an email that I will be reading to go with our Twitter poll that we will be going over. You can also get our podcast anywhere you get your podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Radio Public, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Absolutely anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find us. You can also find us at DefyLifePods.com, where you can find all the other podcasts from the Defy Life Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. Tell your friends, tell their friends, to tell their friends, to tell a friend, to tell that friend, to follow, like, and subscribe. That's all we're asking. We just want to get a nice little game of telephone going. And we think it's very easy. We expect each listener to reach 50 people by the end of the day.
Dang. I like that. It is a game of telephone. Like, we'll say, like, the yellow canary sings 3 times, and at the end of it, it will be like, boy, Uncle Oz has like 20-something followers now.
Do you?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, let's work on that. Tell them where to find you.
All right, good people. Good
He doesn't
people,
know where to find them.
Good people. Hey, you can find me on the third rock in from the sun that we call this lovely Terra Nova. You can find me in what we now call currently the United States of America. I'm bringing you down to where I am.
Okay.
You can find me to where we call the current United States of America. To where I'll give up to where we are. I currently reside in the first place where we as Americans landed, and the first place where we as Americans decided that I think it's cool if you want to have enslaved people, dude. So, and I to get to that point.
Are we getting there?
You can find me at this machine called Twitter. I don't advocate violence, so don't worry. Dorsey won't censor my tweets. But you can find me at OzzyReal, and that's at capital OZZIEREAL.
That took a lot.
I want you to do. The rants are in full session today, and you wait till Ozzy speaks his mind.
I might have to put a cap on that one because we do got a lot to get to. And you told me that you had to be off by a certain time, so we might have to put a cap.
You're right. And I'll say I'll put a cap on. Wait, I'll bust a cap on myself.
What?
Yeah,
that's a shot fired at yourself,
dude. Listen, hey man, hey. The way I've been feeling lately, we all got to be more humble. We all got to be like this whole thick skin that everybody wants to have, this whole diamond skin. That's awesome, but your insides are all gushy and soft, and you ain't fortified, dude. So I want to be more fortified.
All right. So let's get to an email that actually coincides with a Twitter poll. Okay. So let's go over the Twitter poll first, and then we'll read the email. I put up a Twitter poll that says, when we talked about swordsmen from a few weeks back, who is the greatest swordsman of all time? Duncan MacLeod, Aragon, Conan the Barbarian, or other? Over 150 votes. Conan the Barbarian came out with 30% of the vote. A lot of comments on there. Highlander. Few people I didn't remember. Indigo Montoya got a lot of votes. Darth Maul got a few.
Yep.
Lord Vader got some. I see a few Conans. Montoya got a lot. Zorro got a few. There's a few people I do not recognize. Ryan Reynolds, Wade Wilson from Origins got one. So that leaves me. Okay. You didn't sound too happy about that.
Well, do you know why people said that?
Yes, to be funny. I know.
Well, and for the simple reason, the only thing this cat really did, I mean, he did some stuff, but they said it, and I'm not trying to interject, but they just said it because this dude split a bullet with his sword.
So we got an email from our good friends at Black Mass.
Yes, Black Mass.
Listen to how excited Ozzy gets when Black Mass comes. Oh my gosh, it's Black Mass. What are they going to say? Ooh, you get so excited.
I'll be hollering soon. And I want to give a big plug out to Black Mass. They're hanging in strong, and actually, you can follow those guys on their usual outlets, but also they set up an awesome YouTube channel too, so it's good.
They wrote, guys, I liked your sword fighting list. However, it's ridiculous that samurai, a humongous category of people, was not chosen in the top 5. For example, Rurouni Kenshin. I don't know if he meant Rurouni Kenshin or not, but Mugen, Samurai Champloo, Zoro, One Piece, Inuyasha, Afro Samurai. There's even Samurai Jack as a better swordsman than Jaime Lannister. So unless you are not including samurai, then the list must be completely changed. Stay blessed, Black Mass members.
That was brilliant as usual. I hope that was hey, Black Mass, that was awesome. Because I'm going to tell you, if you literally put Samurai Jack in the mix or Afro Samurai, some people might not have some quickening because those guys are lethal.
I could put Trunks against him and he'll beat all of them.
Well, but the thing about because it's an ever evolving conversation. But the thing about the swordsman thing, Zoro's amazing because he knows the dance and the rhythm of it, but he never kills anybody. Conan is a great sword fighter because he has been killing folks since he was a little kid. Battle hardened, battle worn, and I think it is interesting. But I love that samurai aspect. It's really smart. Yeah.
Well, obviously they didn't listen to the show because we did mention samurai because they were the number 5 when we went over the list.
Well, by the way, if you want to really throw swords in there, how about all of our troopers who were from Attack on Titan?
Well, actually, I wouldn't take any of them over Trunks. Trunks would kill all of them.
Well, how?
Because he's faster than all of them. He's a Saiyan. What do you mean? He's 100% faster than every single person you just mentioned.
Okay, cool. So then I will use regular Scott's logic as he has used with me.
I'm all for it.
I will say the greatest swordsman is the Flash.
I'll take Trunks over the Flash.
The Flash is the fastest, and so you get.
Well, which Flash you talking? Who are you talking?
I am talking Barry Allen.
I'll take Wally West then.
Well, Barry Allen is the literally incarnate of the Speed Force now.
But Wally West is
okay. So here,
Wally West is canon faster than Barry Allen.
I don't want to get into the Wally West stuff. I want to get back to the Trunks.
All right.
I will take Barry Allen with 2 butter knives over Trunks.
I will see your Barry Allen and raise you Wally West. I mean, I will see your Barry Allen and raise you Wally West.
I will give Barry Allen two shivs, and over anybody.
Well, I just raised you Wally West, so there you go.
As a matter of fact, I will give Barry Allen 2 Nerf swords over anybody in the universe, including Wally West.
No, you're nuts. Well, we've already had our sword discussion, so let's move on to some news tidbits coming out of this. Henry Cavill, the star in the DC world, is rumored to be reprising his role as Superman in a few upcoming movies, none of which are apparently going to be Man of Steel 2. Henry Cavill could end up being a little bit of a just kind of rogue character that kind of pops up, kind of like the Incredible Hulk was in the Marvelverse.
Kind of like Nick Fury.
I'm thinking more like Incredible Hulk, because I think he's going to be more. I don't think he's going to be putting things together as much as he's going to be in the mix.
And to be clear, when I say Nick Fury, as in like just the super cameos in movies, just to kind of give foundations to stuff. You know?
I think it's going to be more than a cameo. Like, I think he's going to be in the movie, like have a featured role. Like, I think it's more. I think it's going to be. More than a cameo.
You cannot have a Superman without him being super. So there's no point.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Wow, you say there's no point. Imagine the Justice League movie. You know, and we take out all the nonsense of him waking up and not knowing who he was, even though everybody loves the Flash scene. That's cool. Let's take that out, though. Just imagine if that movie just had Superman just waking up at the very end where we get that vibrant, smiling Superman, and that's all you get is that quick cameo and he's out. That would be dope.
Yeah, but that's similar to a Nick Fury cameo. Like, because it's
when has Nick Fury ever done that? When has he ever came in, saved the day, and then peace out?
Well, the problems with a lot of things is that there's sort of 2 different canons going on with Justice League. One Justice League has Superman in from like incarnate from the beginning, and one Justice League, which is really cool take on them. It's like a 12-part series they did. It is a 12-part maxi series that they did where Superman wasn't in the mix, and like the Justice League had to fight Starro, and they form under the umbrella of Batman, which makes sense because he's like Tony Stark, the money man, you know, and then Superman came in later, you know. But yeah, so like it's tough, man.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
It's the same thing. It's just like it's tough because is he going to play like, oh shoot, he just moved the planet when we needed him and he smiled at everybody, or is he going to be like literally just like him having lunch with like some kids at a school?
What? What?
From Shazam. When he said, "I have a friend," and they
that's what you're thinking he's going to be doing.
I said
because I'm lost. Like I don't know where you got those scenarios from.
How are you lost?
Because what I was saying,
those are legit the only 2 scenarios. Like, I think they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with this guy. Is he going to be that dude who makes a Nick Fury kind of, and Nick Fury is to me that Superman walking in, eating lunch with a bunch of kids at a school, because Nick Fury never like he didn't have some powers, but he has a presence to him. So it's either that Superman, or you're gonna have Superman, like you said, doing a Hulk and Thor thing where he's actually like kicking ass and like being substantial in it. That's the bridge that they have to cross, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you get that?
No, you said a lot to say the same thing I said. But that's okay. Let's move on. Tom Cruise.
Probably just said it clearer, so that's fine.
I guess. Tom Cruise is reportedly going to begin filming whenever all this COVID really eases up. A film funded by Elon Musk, filmed in outer space. What are your thoughts on filming in outer space and on Elon Musk himself just doing ridiculous things every time you hear his name?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I literally don't care. People say he's like Tony Stark. People say this. People say that. SpaceX went up. I don't care. He's just a billionaire who has a lot of influence on on our world for sure. But yeah, I don't want to give any more attention to him because he gets too much, and a lot of it's just stupid, you know.
What are your thoughts?
And also, by the way, when he says stuff, and when Tom Cruise is attached to stuff, dig deeper into it. Will it ever happen, or is it just another publicity stunt from this guy? Or is Scientology attached to all this craziness? You just never know with these cats, man.
Well, even if it is, I'm not going to judge them if it is.
I would, because I would totally judge it if Scientology has anything to do with that. Me personally.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. So I just saw the news tidbit. I thought it was very intriguing and interesting, and could open up a world of possibilities.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said about that because it will get pretty interesting how they're going to do it, because just are they doing it on a video? Are they doing it on film? Will film survive that? What's the whole process behind all this?
It's really cool. Like the concept is really cool. Like
I think Elon Musk says a lot of stuff to kind of spark people's imagination, but he doesn't always follow through on things. So I'll be very interested to see if he followed through. If he's actually following through on it.
He might set his bar pretty high, but I don't think there's anything wrong with shooting for the stars and landing on the moon.
Yeah. I think there's nothing wrong with shooting for the stars, but I think you should have some straight up foundations on Earth first. And a lot of the times, he's straight up pipe dreaming, or he's just doing what a billionaire will do, is self promotion. Let's not forget. Look, here it is. If Tom Cruise is in space and they're filming something awesome, like the greatest sci-fi movie that's ever been made in space, cool. I'll watch it. I'm into it. But if it's Elon Musk doing his usual musky thing where he's saying, oh, I can save these kids from this cave with this thing I have, and professionals saying that's bullshit because you don't know what you're talking about, and then he calls the professionals like pedophiles and they have to go to court, I ain't want to do that. I get a little weirded out by him saying stuff. I was like, yeah, dude, you need to come correct with the past stuff you said before I listen to anything future you say. So,
the movie the movie has found its director. It'll be Tom Cruise's longtime collaborator and friend, Doug Liman.
They should have went all balls out and said Roman Polanski or something like that, you know.
Nah, they got Doug.
Roman missing out again. Okay.
All right. One last news tidbit, and then we will take a quick commercial break, come back with a One's Gotta Go, then we're going to create our perfect trilogy. The HBO Max DC TV series, the Justice League Dark and the Green Lantern series, are going to have pretty big budgets, according to the executive. So, Oz, I wanted to pose a question to you. If you were in charge and could choose a DC property comic or just something that maybe you've been thinking about, what TV series would you create for HBO Max?
I had to think about that one for a bit, man.
Okay. I would go with I posed this on Twitter. If you followed me on Twitter, you would be able to participate in our conversations, Oz.
I would, but as you stated several times that you have like unfollowed me on Twitter. So so what should I do? You balls in your court, sir.
Touche. I said a Batman Inc. TV show. And the way I would do it is Batman would be I would kind of do it a little bit different than the comics, obviously. But I would have an older Batman, and I would do it. The first episode would be very much kind of like Batman Beyond. You'll have an older Bruce doing his thing. This will be the only time you get Batman in the entire series. Will be the opening scene. And he's about to get beat, and I haven't decided if he should be on a mission with maybe Dick and Barbara, two of his oldest pupils, and they see him grab the gun, kind of like in Batman Beyond, and that's the moment where he's like, yeah, it's time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know which would be more impactful. So maybe I don't know, but I would start it like that, and then each episode is him recruiting a different Bat family member, and then you kind of get to introduce a whole cast of different members, and then you find one that hits or that gets a lot of popularity, gets some momentum, you could spin them off into their own series. And I just think there's a lot of potential to not only create your own series where you can have just a rotating cast of characters whenever you need, and be able to create content for other characters to spin off from. But I think it's a way to have a Bat family show and never use Batman.
I like that. That's a good concept. I would probably take it a little further, and because it's on a level. It pays a lot of homage to Batman's legacy. If you have it set a little bit into the future where he's older, and you can see what Batman's influence has been to the world when he's been in the Justice League, when he's saved the world, when he's had to go over to different places, different continents and stuff. I really like that idea. I would probably flip it a little bit. If you are so intent of like not ever showing Batman again, I would just have him dead. And I would, but hear me out. We get around all these like Birds of Prey, which I love, just because I was like hungry, drooling for the concept of that when it came out as a TV series back in the day in the 90s. Batman vanished again, right? You got Batwoman, Batman vanishes, they leave it open. No, I want to have Batman dead, and maybe two scenarios are this. Scenario number one, Batman's dead, and all the Batmans are at a secret funeral for him, and they're going to try and figure out who killed him and what happened with that. That can make for a great, good season one. Or if Batman's dead, it's a funeral series, and you can still have all these Batmans gathered, and the flashback is how, if you still want it, how Batman has influenced those guys, or how Batman visited those guys. Because that's a cool story, because you could go, Batman visited these people, said, you have potential this. Or you can flip the script and be like, some people never even got a visit from Bruce, but they're just so inspired by Batman that they took up the legacy for that.
You could do that, but then you do something like that, whoever you have end up being the one that kills Bruce, it's got to be... you got to have a plan for that. I'd almost just rather stick with the comics and say he got hit with the Omega beams.
Well, here, check this out.
Because then you can bring him back.
I love it. See, but everybody wants it because it's like Batman, the icon. If you don't want to do that, make it easy and even for the people who are too sensitive to have Batman be gone. Batman is just dead from old age. And that's why you have the Batman Beyond. That's why you have the Terry. And that's why you have what's going on in England with the Batman England and that kind of thing, because you'll get a glimpse
Ooh, it might
of
be
the
too
future.
soon for Terry.
Well, hold on. Well, I'm just saying. Well, no, because if Batman's dead, because Batman was kind of like on his last leg when Terry was like around. The coolest take of Batman was that epilogue that they did on Justice League Unlimited, where you saw Terry as an older dude, not like teenage Terry, but Terry was in his like late 20s, and Bruce was like old. Like Bruce is not fighting anybody anymore. Okay, so like you could get a take on Terry, maybe bump to the 30s. You still see all the Batman around, but you're just like if people get hungry, they can still get a flashback of Batman. It's cool, dude. There's some things.
I like my idea better.
I love your idea. It's great. It's really it's wonderful. My idea does not compare whole water your idea, but I just would think that it would be kind of cool to get a take on an older Batman walking with a cane slowly. Maybe he's wearing a trench coat because he doesn't need to wear a cape for sure. But he's walking very slow and deliberately. And he's visiting France. He's visiting different areas where he's like, yes, and like recruiting. Because Batman's Endgame was just like, not just Gotham. Batman's Endgame was just like, crime is crazy, dude. I don't want this to happen to anybody else, because he relives his dad and his mom dying every day due to the nature of his memory,
But if you have him, that means Damian's got to be in the mix. Like Damian and Dick have to be at this point. Like Damian, Dick, and Barbara have to be at this point, kind of running things.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Because Alfred's got to be dead too.
Hold on. Don't leave any of them out. Don't leave Tim out. Don't leave
Tim out.
Don't leave Lark out.
Leaving Lark out.
It's enough to see all these older people, and some of them are not Batman. Because I can tell you, I never ever saw Tim at his end game sticking with the Batman thing. I feel like Tim was either going to go rogue super detective or like be in some kind of like law enforcement or even like some like CIA-ish kind of thing where he learned his skills and he's still doing stuff, Like it'll be good to see, because like Barbara Gordon, she was like, nah, this sucks. I actually, thank you, Bruce, I'm gonna go with my dad's legacy. So there's a good take, and you can bump. That's at least 2 seasons worth of stuff, man.
Nah, nobody's going to be interested in a 45-year-old Barbara Gordon trying to hunt down and chase her old love interest, a 40-year-old Dick Grayson, after Batman died and left him his legacy, and now Gotham's in shambles.
Wait, hold on. Wait. That's your apocalyptic take on things. It doesn't have to be that way. It could be I would like to see a 45-year-old Barbara Gordon who's seasoned and has lessons to be taught. I want to see like Lucius, like Junior, being like, hey, what happened with him? There's some stuff to be told of that.
That sounds like an Elseworld story.
If you really if you take a second and break down every Superman, every Batman, every Wonder Woman that you've seen on TV, that you've seen on movies, they're all basically Elseworlds.
Yeah, but that one sounds like a real
every
Elseworld.
Every single one of them,
Okay, great. We're going to take a quick commercial break because that just bummed me out. We'll be right back.
This is Defy Life.
Welcome to the Defy Life podcast. Join JR, Thomas, and Al as they take on topics in sports, politics, current events, family, and more. Insightful, hilarious, always unique. New episode every Wednesday. Powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. Listen at defylifepods.com and everywhere else your favorite podcasts are available. If you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about?
And we are back. Make sure you are watching. Oh my goodness. Make sure you are listening to the Defy Life Podcast, the flagship. I don't know why I said watching, but definitely make sure you are listening to the flagship. And Jay, I gotta get that intro instrumental. That beat's hard. I need that. Oz, what you think about the beat?
I couldn't hear the beat, so you want to play it right now so I can hear it, so I can get a taste of it.
Oh, you want the beat?
Well, I mean, you said this beat was hard. I mean, can I hear it, or do you want to just keep that under wrap, or do you want to just keep that under wrap and ask me what I think about a music that I've never heard before? The choice is yours, bro.
I was just wondering if you wanted to hear the beat. That's all.
No, wait, hold on, wait. You didn't ask me that. You said, what do I think about that beat?
Strap in, let's take a ride. Oh yeah, it's about that time, right? Been waiting all week to get to this. It's finally time to defy life. Let's chop it up. Keep it trail, no other way.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, that beat goes hard. I definitely need that on instrumental, and that's Kingpin on the bars too. So shout out to Kingpin, man.
Yeah, shout out, man. Hey, yo, thank you for playing that, because I know I got a taste of it. That's awesome. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No doubt. All right, one's got to go. This one will probably be pretty quick. 4 trilogies. I tried to make them a little bit more random than normal. We'll see if it worked or not. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Captain America trilogy. Good trilogy. Indiana Jones trilogy. Shout out to JD, who said that is one of his favorite trilogies. John Wick trilogy, which Oz has said is one of his favorite trilogies. And let's go with the Ghostbuster trilogy. One gotta go. There are some iconic movies in those trilogies.
Yeah. My thought is either Ghostbusters or Indiana Jones.
Ooh.
Without hesitation.
The Indiana Jones hurts my heart.
Yeah, well, but I know Dr. Jones, come your heart. Kaliman. Yeah, I know. It's beautiful. There's some stuff but like literally after 2, I was like, yo, y'all gotta stop. And then when they said they're making another one, I'm like, y'all gotta stop.
Last Crusade's not bad.
No, yeah, it was not great.
It's not great. It's not bad though.
It was not good. Obviously he would drink out of this bedazzled, jeweled cup. Dude, go on.
So which one's got to go?
This is not a rant. This is my process. If I said Indiana Jones trilogy, definitely based off of like was it the just Doc Solomon, all these old like really good ones, and sparked a ton of like movies and like Alex Quartermain movies, The Librarian. Ghostbusters should go. But the only reason I say Ghostbusters should go because I still think that there would be some paranormal stuff that there wasn't for Ghostbusters. I think Indiana Jones and the great, literally the great all-American like fighter, lover, intellectual. That's iconic. So I feel like Ghostbusters should go.
I agree. Ghostbusters should go. All right.
Wait, stop. Why?
Because it's the worst trilogy of the three.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
I mean, we've already discussed John Wick in that trilogy. Captain America's Winter Soldier is arguably, in some people's mind, the greatest comic book movie of all time. It's at least in most people's top 5. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark is, I mean, that's one of the most iconic movies of all time. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, period, is iconic.
Absolutely. Everybody wanted to get a fedora after that. I will say that Captain America, and this is my personal opinion, Captain America, the number one, the first Avenger, was not that great to me. Okay. That was one of my least favorite Marvel movies, by the way.
Okay. So Oz went off on me during the commercial break and pretty much threatened to hijack the show.
No.
If I didn't give him his time. So, Oz, it is time for another session of Ozzy Talks with Ozzy.
Yeah, we're still working on the actual title because apparently regular Scott can't figure out if we are like listening to a show or watching a show. It's a work in progress, but we'll figure it out. Now, listen.
Was it Talks with Ozzy last week?
It could have been conversations with Killmonger, or it could have been like.
Oh, that's it. Killmonger conversations.
Boom, shaka.
That's it right there. Killmonger conversations.
And then, it's like lightning in a bottle. Okay.
Let me actually. Okay, while you do that, I'm gonna look up what I called it last time. But I think Killmonger conversations might end up sticking.
I'm actually writing that down right now.
Yeah, that might end up. Okay, all right. Hey, wait. Hey, look. When we work together, we're a pretty good team. It just doesn't happen very often.
It just doesn't happen very often. I know. I wish there was more synergy. But hot.
Sorry. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Fire, wind.
Wind.
So look, I'll make this quick.
Heart.
Yeah. When our powers combined. So what we do is escapism, and I know downer, but just in light of what's going on, when this airs, I think we'll still be in the midst of some fires and some smoldering ashes and embers, but man, I just want to just really briefly talk about what's going on with Minnesota, and everybody's getting up arms well, why would you burn your own neighborhood? And people have some rationales. I have issues with that too, but people have rationales, and some of the rationales are here's one thought for. I don't want to tell you what answers are because I don't know answers, but I do want to tell you what some people have said why the looting's happening, okay? And this is a conversation for you all to think about. I heard from one person that said, why is everybody burning stuff? Why are you burning your own neighborhood? That's stupid. People said, I will say it wasn't stupid when our true patriots did it for the Boston Tea Party. Although they dressed up like Indians and they were burning their own stuff and throwing their own tea overboard to say, hey, King George, listen to us. You have been taxing us. You've been literally taxing our backs, taxing our necks, taxing everything, taken from us. Now you're going to listen to us. Martin Luther King, and we want to quote King, saying we love quoting Martin Luther King, but I will tell you this. Martin Luther King, back in 68, back in the 60s, that dude was hated. He was considered this crazy rebel. People were thinking him and Malcolm X were the same person back in the day. Now we love him, and we want to name every boulevard after him, But just keep it real and research it for yourself. He was he was one of the least favorite persons, and the FBI was on his trail. So and he said this. He said, man, rioting and all this fire and heat and everything. Rioting is the language of the unheard. Okay, so people are also, and I don't want to ramble too much further. But again, why are you doing that? I heard another person tell me or say to me, "We built it. Why can't we burn it? It's ours." And I'm like, God, geez, okay, I get you, but man, I want to do some kumbaya stuff and say we all need to work together and do this, but I can't, man. People saw murder on a video by people who are supposed to protect us. And you go, holy crap, that's crazy, but it's not crazy. Colin was saying, yo, man, I'm taking a knee. I want to address some stuff. Yes, I am very privileged to say this, and that's why I want you to all hear it, because I have a platform to say it. I'm going to take a knee for this. Literally what we stand for, take a knee from Marvel vs. DC. He took a knee, and people were going, yo, man, that's not the platform. There's no problem, dude. You're making unrest. You're causing civil disobedience. You're being silly. And then when this happens, people are like, okay, he took a knee. Yeah, I ain't want to say nothing. But when a cop takes a knee on someone's neck, that doesn't mean anything. So I think we all got to get to a place where we go, yo, a wrong is a wrong is a wrong. I don't care if it's like a grasshopper doing a crazy wrong against an ant, or a president saying crazy things on Twitter, or you just trying to get over on your fellow person. We just got to start addressing the things, or else we'll keep going into these crazy cycles. And it's a crazy cycle. What we're seeing now was a repeat of the 60s, which was a repeat of the lynching days, which was a repeat of everything. We have to figure out how we're all going to communicate to each other. And communication is not just like hearing yourself do like your monologue. That's theatrics. True communication is going, awesome. I heard what you said. Let's address it. Minnesota was this crazy. And then I live here in Virginia, and they were we're blowing things up and turning things up too, man. We have to figure out how to get along, or we're going to figure out how to be separate. And I can tell you, the separation ain't going to work, because you ain't born into this world by yourself. So how the fuck do you think you can be by yourself? And that's all I got to say.
All right. That was very subdued. I saw a TV. Godly. I saw a T-shirt that said "Negros, sweet and docile, meek, humble, and kind. Beware the day they change their mind." Langston Hughes.
Yeah.
I think that is a very appropriate quote for the times, Oz.
Yeah. Hey, regular Scott, I'm gonna give you one more for Langston Hughes. Everybody, you should go look up Langston Hughes. Let me give you one more for Langston Hughes. Okay, a simple one. Langston Hughes, as a poet, and poetry is strict to my heart. He said, "Hey, tell all my mourners to mourn in red, 'cause there ain't no sense in me being dead."
Food for thought. Oz, I'm sure I've gotten good feedback, and I'm sure I can speak for listeners. We appreciate the Killmonger conversations, because we decided a few weeks ago that we were going to start touching on these subjects. Well, you were, and it's because something that you feel it's fine, and it's something you feel passionate about, and it's like you said, we need to make sure people know that we acknowledge what's going on, but as I've said, I want this to be your getaway, to be the way to get away. But the Killmonger conversations are here for a reason, and we're 3 for 3 so far.
Yeah, and regular Scott, let me tell you something, dude. In your own way, and we go back and forth with our little stupid banter, but man, I consider you a genius in your own right, and I'm gonna tell you straight up because you are thoughtful, and I don't mean like, oh, he's a very thoughtful. I mean, you are full of thought, a lot, and that's a very powerful thing. You giving me the space to do it. I appreciate it. And let me tell you, I want to spend all my time, literally, if I can have a job, spending all my time nerding the fuck out. I would love to do that. I want to do that. Man, I just want to talk about, like, I heard it. What if we did an alternate universe of this? That's all I want to do. But then when this stuff happens, it has to be addressed, dude. And, it's in the times, and everybody's like, oh, why? Because it bleeds in and it affects our world, man. Yo, the Coopers, crazy Amy Cooper, and our bird watcher, Mr. Cooper, dude, he just told her to put her dog on a leash, and she called the cops on him, threatening his life basically by saying, I got an African American who's threatening me. And this dude, let's get back to nerdism. He was a comic book writer and a comic book Marvel editor. It affects all of us.
Hey, she wouldn't have did a goddamn thing if she'd have known his credentials. Hey, look, but I don't want to stick on this too long.
Hey, yo, we got our trilogies, but just think about that, dude. I want to do nothing more than to figure out how we can all get along as Trekkies and Star Wars people.
Well, yeah. I don't know if I want to start getting along with the Trekkies. Nobody asked for all that. We're not trying to solve world hunger right now, okay? Like, we can't do everything at once. One battle at a time.
Hey, you can't do everything at once, but you can do something. And the least that we can do is acknowledge that, oh my God, Star Trek has a whole lot more black people than Star Wars does.
Shots fired at George Lucas and everything. Because that's all on George Lucas. And I'm going to tell you what his mindset was. He was like, yo, they got Chewbacca, they got Lando, and we gave them Ewoks.
Son, we gave them Ewoks, dude. No, like, peep game. I will promise you this. Listen to me here. If George Lucas would have made those Star Wars movies now, with his black wife, please, son, I dare say Obi-Wan or Luke might have been black.
Hey, wait a minute! This is probably going to surprise a lot of people. He's married to a black woman.
Oh, dude, hold on. I hope they're still together. But the Lucas, billionaire Lucas, THX, which is a great movie, by the way. THX was 1138, I think it is. Yo, that cat is married to a black woman. He's married to a sister, dude.
Wow.
Hey, wait, hold on, wait. I'm going to talk for a little bit. I'm about to research it because I want to make sure I got my credentials right. But that cat, talk for a little. I got to research this.
Okay, so, I'm a biracial guy, so I'm all about the biracial, so,
Hey, everybody. Yo, regular Scott's ears perked up when I said that.
Hey, listen, I am all about some biracial couples in movies, and then finding out he's with a sister. Man, that's great. That's fantastic.
Wait, he's married to a black woman? Like, the mama? What?
Hey, listen, I don't think I heard a word you said after you said his black wife. I don't think I heard a word you said after that.
I literally said, I'm taking over the show. You're like, that's cool, dude. Black wife. I love that.
No, I said, okay, you can take over. Wait, he married to a black woman? What?
Hey, I want to research everything right now. Yo, because I see pictures of this cat, and I was like, what the?
Hey, listen, just based off those movies, I never would have guessed it.
Yeah, but dude, the Lucas was prolific. Man, he put his big toe in the whole industry with like American Graffiti with Ron Allen. And just think about this. You have a guy that, I'm sure he had help from other people too at a young age, but a guy who created folklore in everybody's brain around the world, and he chose you to be in the movie, and you're an awesome director too.
Random question. Lando's the only black person we see in Star Wars. Where did he come from? Where are his parents?
See, so I get a little weirded out by that because like there's a whole little thing about Star Wars. So I did not watch it all the way through the Lando movie. I'm sorry, the Solo movie. Sorry, but there's a whole little weird thing. Like there's the bad guys. There's the people who are trying, like the Alliance, who are trying to like fight the bad, or the rebels. And then there's a whole smuggler class, and this whole smuggler class is like a huge, like it's like worlds of people that are like, we don't want to think of Switzerland, who said we don't want to be involved in any of this nonsense with the wars like for galaxies and stuff. So it's weird. So I feel like Solo and like man, Lando, like I'm like, yeah, what's up with his wife? Yeah, like
and like Lando wouldn't want to go look for his parents because he's like, yo, well, I'm the only black person here. Like that wouldn't make you want to go find out where you're from because you can't be from there.
Yo, dude,
I'm just asking. I'm just thinking out loud right now.
No, it's legit. It's legit.
Okay, we gotta move on. I feel like we could talk. I feel like I could question where he came from and why for the rest of the show. But we got to do our trilogies.
Oh, God. Oh.
Okay, we're moving on to our trilogy.
Wait, before we do that, yo,
what?
George Lucas is married to a black woman, and I'm gonna tell you something crazy. I'm gonna tell you something really crazy.
Go ahead.
I feel like this is his second wife, and his second wife is his second black woman.
Hold on, wait a minute. This man been married to 2 black women?
Dude, I'm trying to get my information right. Let me tell you something.
How long did it take you to find this stuff out?
Yo, you know, man, hey, yo.
Like, what is taking you so long?
Melody Hobson is George Lucas's spouse as of 2013. And wait, okay, I apologize. His first wife was she wasn't white, but she was white. But yo, his current wife, Melody, who is also the president and CEO of Ariel Investments. Yo, this woman is black.
Hey, so look, now I guess now we see why Finn ended up in such a prominent role.
Yo, you see why Finn's like, yo, give me a lightsaber.
Give me a lightsaber.
Finn, yo, George said, here, I ain't trying to be a jerk.
Yeah,
George was like, man, Billy D was really cool, man. That was really cool having him in the thing. This in time, heard some glimmer, wish there were some more black people in Star Wars. Started, hanging out in the circuit, met this beautiful woman, Melody. It's like, what's up, man? Cool. Nothing came of the relationship, just met her. Samuel Jackson was like, yo, I need a purple lightsaber. I'm trying to be in these. George's like, yo, dude, I need to have more black people.
But that's way after Sam.
No. Listen to me. He met Melody years, but nothing came out. He just married her in 2013. Met her. But he actually had a conversation with Sam. Like, okay, Sam, I'm putting you in this movie for more diversity. Got him in there. And then he was like, yo, Melody, I feel like I'm falling in love with you, man. I feel like,
All right.
My heart feels like it's THX. I feel it in my heart. Okay. And fell in love. And he's like, you know what, girl?
He said, you know what, girl?
Hey, I'm being a jerk. He actually said, you know what, boo?
Oh, my God, dude.
Finn's going to have a saber. And he gonna be in all 3 of these, okay? And she goes, "That's cool. That's okay."
I wonder if George Lucas is like, so, honey, are you gonna vote for Biden?
dude,
because you heard what he said, right, honey?
Dude,
are you gonna vote for Biden?
Dude, Biden, man, you will win.
All you got to do is just shut up.
That's all he's got. Brother Scott, all he has to do is just literally say this. Just say these words once a week. I'm not Trump. I love black people, and that's it. Don't say shit.
He don't even have to
else.
say that. He don't even have to say that. Just you don't have to say nothing.
This dude said, "Yo, you know you ain't." I'm like, "Oh, brother."
Okay. Nope. Not doing it. Back on topic. Not
You're
doing
right.
it.
But one more
doing
thing. No,
it.
I'm just kidding.
No.
But hey, let me tell you something. Dude.
No, you cannot tell me nothing.
Hey. But it was a revelation to find out George Lucas is married to a
No,
black
that was 100% worth it. That was 100% worth it. I'm all about the interracials. All about it.
God dang, I am too, dude. See, I'm
all about it. All right. Whew. Wow. Who'd have thought we'd have talked about George Lucas' Black Wife?
Have you heard of who Yoda's married to?
Nope. Trilogies. So, let me go over the rules again.
Yoda is married to the woman from Species.
Let me go over again how we're going to create our perfect trilogies. We are only going to use movies from trilogies, or they can have 4 or 5 parts. Obviously, that's fine. But it has to be the third movie to use for our third. The sequel for our sequel, and the first from the first. They cannot be from the same trilogy, or it can't be same set of movies. Got me?
Gotcha.
So let's start in some different genres and see what we work out. Some of them I had a hard time with. Some of them I had to pick the best of what was left. And some of them I had to kind of move some movies around so I could have certain movies in certain places. Let's start with our comic book movies. We're a comic book.
Oh, man.
Okay. We'll save it.
No. You want to knock out what we do first. It's fine.
Well, I figured we listen. We give the people what they want.
Okay.
So what you got for what is your in your perfect trilogy? What would your first movie be?
I want to hear what yours is after I do mine, because I just went kind of balls out, dude.
Now listen. I do want to say this doesn't have. These aren't. I want to just so everyone knows these aren't the best. This is just my personal favorites.
I get it. I went kind of stupid and went balls out. I'm gonna tell you like this, dude. I went Batman, Dark Knight 1, right?
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins, right?
Okay.
Then I went Captain America 2,
Winter Soldier,
which is Winter Soldier, and then I flipped it, dude, and I went X-Men 3, as in saying like these, like you get the origin of Batman, you get Batman with Cap and Winter Soldier in this thing, and then you actually have a legit X-Men movie with these 3 crazy like dudes.
Hold on. What X-Men movie?
X-Men 3.
X-Men 3, the one with the Phoenix, where Wolverine kills the Phoenix?
Well, yeah, dude.
The Last Stand?
Listen to me. X-Men 3, The Last Stand, you got Batman in it.
No, you're not putting people in movies. We're just picking movies that we think are the best in their slot, like our favorite sequel.
Oh man,
You can't put Batman in a. No, that's not what we're doing.
Nah, son, I was making the perfect movie because listen to me, dude. You got Batman in this movie. Oh, I like what you said, but dude, if you had Batman in one, Winter Soldier, Captain America, and then the next one you got Wolverine, Winter Soldier, Captain America, and Batman in a crazy movie. Is that nuts?
Yeah, it's nuts, but that's not what we were supposed to do.
So listen to me. If you had Batman, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Wolverine in a movie, that's literally the Expendables 1.
You just said I got it. I got it.
I got it.
But
let me hear what you did.
All right, so.
But yo,
because I was with you with the first 2 movies.
Ray Scott, that would be a dope movie, don't you think? Though, don't you? Man, come on, dude.
It would. I mean, that's a lot, but
dude, listen to me.
I know. I got it.
Okay, sorry.
So my first movie, I went back and forth between. I ended up choosing Iron Man. But
because you basically want the best of those 1, 2, 3s.
But I almost picked Blade.
For number 1?
Yeah, I really like the first Blade movie. I really like the first Blade a lot.
I have 2 crazy side notes for you, okay? Number one. So, were you shocked to find out that the dude who is in Walking Dead was the little snitch dude in Blade 2? That was crazy for me.
Yeah, I mean, when I realized, and he's the guy from Boondock Saints, not Boondock
Is
Saints,
he?
not
No.
Boondock Saints. What's it called? Ah, man, what is that movie called?
Well, I had another fucking crazy for me. Chris Pratt. That cat was in Wanted.
Yeah, that's the guy that he ends up punching in the
He's
face.
best friend. And I was watching Wanted and I was like, what the? He's so chubby, dude. Keep it rolling. Keep going.
So then Iron Man. Number 2, I went with my personal favorite comic book movie of all time, The Dark Knight.
That's your number 2 over Cap Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'm taking that over Winter
You're
Soldier.
just being contrary.
No, I 100% think Dark Knight is a better movie than Winter Soldier.
Really?
No question. Winter Soldier's probably number 2.
I wonder if Heath would have survived if it would have still gotten the chops that it gets still now.
I think so, and I think he would have showed up in 3.
Oh, they do. Yeah, Bane, maybe 4, but let's get for sure, yeah, you're right.
And for my number 3, I almost put Thor Ragnarok here.
Wow.
Because, my first 2 movies, Dark Knight's a little bit darker. Thor's it's a much brighter movie. It's got some really cool fight scenes. But I ended up going with, I think I'm going to end my trilogy on more of a cliffhanger of a note. So I went with Avengers Infinity War.
No, those are all good. Because the only thing I had different from you on that side was just I went Batman, Cap 2, yeah.
And then you went X-Men: The Last
Well,
Stand.
because I had this whole thing where I was literally making my perfect movie. At least that I had all these genres. So,
all right, let's go to the comedy genre.
Oh,
it is the Boondock Saints. It is Boondock Saints, by the way.
What is he in Boondock Saints?
Yeah, it's Boondock Saints. It's about the 2 Irish guys who go around killing people in the name of God. William Dafoe's in it too.
No, he's not one of the main dudes in that.
Yes, he is. He's the brother.
No,
I'm looking at it right now.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now. Murphy McManus.
Huh.
I had to look it up.
Oh no, I believe you. I don't need to lie, but go ahead.
All right, let's go with comedies. What do you have for the first movie?
Trolling. Comedies. Boy.
Here we go.
I'm gonna have to fuck you up, dude. Hangover 1, American Pie 2, Police Academy 3.
Say that again? Oh, okay. My bad.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I stutter. I don't mean to
my bad.
Let me clear my throat. Hangover 1, yep. American Pie 2, Police Academy 3, just because they had all the skaters in it.
American Pie 2, huh?
Well, actually, my whole thing was legit going, screw it. I was going to say Weekend at Bernie's number 2.
Okay. For my comedy, for my first movie, I went Friday.
Oh, brilliant.
You can watch that movie at any time, any season. It's just classic. My second movie, you might notice a pattern here. I went Rush Hour 2.
Oh, God.
Gives me a little bit of my action. Yes, I do enjoy Chris Tucker. Sorry, can't help it. And,
hey man.
Hey, now this one's gonna surprise you because I didn't. There wasn't a lot to choose from when it came to the third movies.
There's a lot.
I mean, there was not a lot that I really liked.
Legally Blonde 3.
Oh man, forgot about that one. National Lampoon Christmas Vacation.
Oh, you were great. That could easily be a 1 or 2 or 3.
So that would be my third, since that was the third movie in the
Oh,
National
dude.
Lampoon.
What if I said Home Alone, Hangover 2?
Ugh. You need to flip that. Stick
Yeah,
with the
like-
Hangover first, go Home Alone 2.
Yeah. That's smart. That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's
flip
smart,
that.
dude. That's so good.
Yeah, flip that. Ugh.
Man, regulars kind of like this, dude. This is fun.
Definitely don't do Hangover 2. Ugh.
Well, definitely don't do Weekend at Bernie's 2 or 3. You're fine.
But I am doing Legally Blonde 2.
Jesus.
Let's go with the action route.
Ooh. I mean, that's cool.
What you got?
I got nothing. I don't know, man. Let's figure out some stuff. What do I have? If only I had enough ink for what I wrote.
Great.
I got Die Hard 1.
Ooh.
John Wick 2. And Taken 3. That's a lie. That's a joke. I put Purge 3.
Really?
I because it was more Afrocentric.
Which one was the Oh, was that the one with the black people?
Yeah, it's basically bullshit. Purge first. where let me I'm not trying to get on a rant, but let me say
yes,
this.
you are. Go ahead.
Dude, they got the most. Like, yo, we run our block, son. You know what we do? This is what we do, son. Yo, we have a strict code of ethics. You know, so like this dude runs game, and he's got a first lieutenant who's a female who is tough as nails. You don't mess with her. His dudes and his people are loyal. And spoiler alert.
Oh, hold on.
Wait, spoiler.
There we go.
When it came down to it, these motherfuckers got taken out by drones, dude.
You really just told the ending of the movie?
No, it's not the end of the movie. But
okay.
like you literally are going, oh, like I got worked up. I was like, oh my God, this girl is loyal to him and she's like lethal, dude. I'm like, man, I can't wait to see what she's gonna mess some people up. This is the Purge. When it came down to it,
This
like
is the Purge.
he had his posse 7 deep. This flying drone, not like the military grade drone that looks like a big airplane, like an unmanned airplane, like literally the drone you buy from like KB Toys or Toys R Us. Like 7 of those drones came down and killed all of them. I was like, wait, what? What happened? So,
Wait, what?
literally, man, I got worked up for like 3/4 of the movie, and then when that happened, I was like, did that just happen? Oh, okay. And he hid underneath, and I don't want to give away too much, but he hid under something to avoid the drone attack. I was like, okay, this is crazy. So, but it was building up to this great movie until the drones took them all out.
Spoiler alert.
Man, spoiler alert, that hardcore, because I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, dang, dude. Spoiler alert, though.
It was terrible. It was so bad. Because, you get a glimpse of this woman, you're like, yo, dude, let's see what she does, man. And you're like, oh, she ain't going to do anything.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Well, that was good.
I want to hear yours because I had it all too.
So my first one, I went with Taken.
I do. I had taken in my list of things too, man.
I really do like Taken. My second one, I went with Lord of the Rings: Two Towers. That's my epic. It's my big one movie.
Wait a minute, dude.
That's not action?
That's fantasy, bro.
That's not action?
No, action is like some extraction grounded in like real time, but like people are doing some crazy stuff. You can't have no dragons in your action. That's fantasy, son. And we didn't even, if I didn't know that, I would have put a fantasy category in that too.
What? I didn't know that wasn't that. Well,
son, just because they swinging swords and Legolas is like snowboarding on a shield.
That's action, right?
That's him snowboarding on a shield. That's
action?
Wait. Yes, that is him taking an action, but it's not an action move.
So it's an action. All right, well,
it's equivalent of like me doing like 4 jump ropes and saying I'm in an action movie.
All right, well, I gotta figure out a new number 2 now. So,
but I like your Taken though. Taken was great.
My number 3 was John Wick 3.
Yeah, son.
I gotta figure out a new number 2 now.
Did you like 3 over 2?
No, I like 2 better than 3.
Then why did you put that as 2?
No, but I know I'm not gonna find a better 3 than John Wick 3.
MI3, son?
Men in Black 3?
Yeah, sci-fi.
Even so, why would I pick that over John Wick 3?
No, I said MI3. I was MI3, dude. That's not minute. That's MIB3.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Hey, come correct. While you're trying to watch this like podcast we're doing, I'm just trying to like listen to it. Okay.
Shots fired. I don't even feel right doing shots against myself. You need to get your own sound effect. I'm not doing no more shots for you no more. So you got to get your own sound effects.
I just found here's my sound effect.
Pew pew pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Hey, shots fired.
Pew pew. All right. I'll get back to my number 2 for that one. Let's go to sci-fi.
Dude, I get you on the ropes. This is crazy. This is like refreshing.
You did.
This is nice.
You did kind of put me on the ropes. I wasn't really expecting that.
I will definitely market this episode.
I was not expecting that at all. And I'm not happy about it, to be honest with you either.
Yo, hey, we're gonna have to come back and revisit fantasy because that's a whole other thing.
No, I don't think we have to do anything.
Yeah, you're like, I blew it on this one. I want to do it anymore. I don't want to participate.
Yeah, I don't want to play anymore.
I don't want to play these games.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? What about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? Does that classify? I'll put that there.
That's sci-fi, dude.
Is that sci-fi too?
Yeah, that's definitely sci-fi. Any way you look at it, it's sci-fi.
I'm sick of you.
You got talking monkeys, son. Hey, dude, come on, kid. Come on,
you
dude.
I'm trying. Monkeys.
I am trying to help you because I love you, dude. I'm trying to help you. But there's so much. There's only so much I can do.
Talking monkeys.
You got talking monkeys with guns. Come on. I listen. Once again, I hear you. They're firing guns, but it's a talking monkey who's firing a gun. Yeah, okay.
He ain't talking to nobody but freaking the guy from Pineapple Express.
Dude, you got monkeys doing sign language and killing people with guns, dude. This is crazy. Okay.
Let's move on to the sci-fi. How about that? Then we ain't even got to worry about it.
Wait, hold on. At your earliest convenience, sir.
All right, what you got first?
All right. I got it. Yo, I'm breaking down real quick. Matrix 1, Terminator 2, Cube 3.
So...
And half of our listeners are going, what the hell's the Cube? Please watch the Cube. It's so good. It's so crazy. I can't... Well, why... It's a great concept. It's brilliant.
I've never heard of the Cube.
Oh, regular, you never watched any of the Cube movies?
Never heard of the Cube.
There ain't enough beer in the world for this. Dude, the Cube was like straight up 90s, like 2000, early 2000. And the premise is basically, it's a prison, but you don't know if it's a government experiment, but like it's basically a cube and they trap people in it and they have to figure out ways to get out of these rooms. And anything else you see, like Saw and all this other stuff, is based off the Cube. And like there's all sorts of different things oh, I found the calculation of this, and it could be a vat of acid, or I found this and it's like a room full of like Heidi Klum supermodels and like delicious food. Not saying I would probably eat the food first, but it's cool to have Heidi Klum and some stuff. So, yeah, it's just all these different things and different scenarios. And it's really cool, man. It's a really cool concept, and it's like it blew my mind, and I've been fixated on that ever since. And it's a missed opportunity for people not to do that. Cabin in the Woods, or based off of the Coop, it's another cube-ish style thing.
Cabin in the Woods is a good movie.
Yeah, it's great. But so again, Matrix 1, Terminator 2, Cube 3.
We got the first two movies the same. Matrix 1, Terminator 2. I don't really see how you go otherwise. When you go sci-fi. My third I'm gonna go War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, this is like an easy fix because it's kind of hard to. Well, like it could be.
I mean, you didn't pick a Star Trek movie?
No, because the reboots.
You don't have to pick the reboots, though.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because it gets weird because I would have to do my 3 categories of Kirk movies, or my 3 categories of Picard movies, and I get really close to Star Trek Nemesis, where they fucking killed Data. And do you know why they killed Data? Sorry. God dang it.
Can't talk about nothing with you.
Dude, he, like literally nothing. And all the Trekkies know. But I just want to say this, just because I had enough beers. They killed Data.
Spoiler alert.
You can't do another spoiler after the first one, okay? They did something in the movie. Because the director never watched Star Trek. He was just like, I want to like chop it up. I was like, are you crazy? And I literally got mad, and I get mad at really stupid things. And here's my mad reason. My mad reason was this. Man, in my world, I was like, it'd be great because Data can exist forever. It'd be cool to see him catalog human Federation existence until the Federation doesn't exist anymore. But I get the point of saying, yes, he was built to be forever, but forever don't last forever. I get that point, but it was just really bad, man. So I didn't want to include any Star Trek stuff for that.
Okay. I was just curious because you're a Trekkie. So
and I don't want to do any of the really recent ones because there won't be another one because our deceased Chekhov. So.
I like the first one. Actually, I like the second one too. I didn't see the third one, but I like.
Because I mean, although he's got this huge head of a presence, man, Chris Pine, when he gets into his thing, you're on that same boat with him, dude. He's got that presence. You're riding that same ship with him, dude.
No doubt.
You know,
let's go horror movie.
Ooh. You ready?
I'm ready. What you got?
You want to go or you want me to go?
It's up to you. Doesn't matter. I have 3 horror movies, so don't worry.
Go hit them up. I bet you we're going to have the same ones.
I don't think we are.
Okay, go ahead.
First one, I'm going with the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I did not have that.
The second movie, I am going with The Devil's Reject.
I did not have that either.
Rob Zombie. And the third movie, I am going with just a personal favorite of mine because I love watching people turn the tables on the villain.
Oh, here we go.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I had I basically just put it like this. Candyman, Jason 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Are you at Nightmare on Elm Street 3 too?
Dude, but and you know why? You know why I am? For the same reason you are and everybody else is, because you're like, oh, they turn the tides. Not only did they turn the tides, but they got superpowers.
Yeah, that was cool.
You were like, oh, dude, it was literally for the super hardcore nerds and for the ones like I feel like the really like JD and our folks will know this, dude. That Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was a little bit like Dreamscape, dude, where like the dreamer had all this omnipotent power. It's like, oh, crazy, dude, you know. Shout out to Robert Englund for just being rad.
Yeah, that was great. It was, and because it hadn't happened yet, like, you know, like in the dream world, I should say, you know, you
blew my mind.
You weren't able to do anything to him in that world, and it was cool to watch them. Really, it was great.
Man,
it really,
man, you know, in the bottom of my heart, dude, when I was just like, oh God, Freddy's coming back again. They didn't do it, dude. And when you finally get a glimpse, a little taste, it's like someone like going, here's your appetizer. It is one leaf of salad, but you still enjoy that salad. You're like, oh God, this is delicious. Yeah, I loved it, dude. I loved it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Now, here's one that I just kind of thought about while we were talking, because that's pretty much all the categories, I believe, unless there's another category I'm missing.
Okay.
Let's create a trilogy that we would make for our son. You know, whether it's, you know, some of our favorite movies from being a kid that we want them to like or we want them to see, or, you know, just 3 movies that we know that we would both enjoy. As kids' movies, what would you pick?
Trilogies are just a kid movie.
Well, like in the same way we're doing our trilogies. The first movie has to be the first, second one. I just thought of the question myself, so I'm jotting it as we speak.
Well, this isn't a trilogy, but man, every kid and their parents should watch Goonies. I
wish it was a trilogy, but I agree with you. I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide because it's a good movie.
And you're right; it's not a trilogy, and you shouldn't let it slide. But that is a movie, and again, cultural diversity, all that stuff. We get it. But that's just a really good, fun movie, dude. And shout out to my wife, man, because like, you know, she's always looking for movies that like watch with our son, and you know. And she was like, oh, let's watch it. I was like, Goonies, whatever, man. And we watched it as a family. I was like, God, this is like fun. And like my kiddo, he was just like, what? This is cool. And then the next day, he's like digging like massive holes in our backyard, you know? So that's a good ride. It's not a trilogy, it's a good ride though. But, man, let's do it. Movies that you think that people, I'm gonna mess you up. They're not kid movies, but
this is what you're going to have my little cousin watching.
Okay, well, here for your little cousin. Oh, dude, let's get it right. Home Alone.
I got my first.
No. Oh, wait. The Muppet Movie 1, Home Alone 2, and number 3 should be
the Muppet Movie.
Oh, it's a good ride, dude. It's fun. Okay, it's fun. All right. And you said your little cousin.
Yeah, I'm telling. Yeah, but I guess.
John Wick 1. I'm sorry.
I mean, you probably have let him see John Wick.
I can either confirm or deny the statement.
It pleads the fifth.
Yeah, the fifth, like FIF, the fifth. No, man. What do you have?
So my first movie, I've got the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that still will hold up pretty well.
Man, I'm into this call right now. You're so smart. That's awesome. That's great.
My second movie is going to throw you for a loop, but it's one of my personal favorites. As a kid, it was probably my favorite movie. Mighty Ducks 2.
I get it.
I absolutely loved Mighty Ducks 2. And I know kids nowadays would love Mighty Ducks if they were reboot
dude,
it.
It's a rite of passage, actually. You know, it crossed the car. Listen, I would tell you, Mighty Ducks could possibly be the one movie that could bridge the divide between the Americans and Canadians. Okay.
No question.
Yeah, that was smart. That's really good. I like that.
As far as my third movie, man,
Don't slip, dude. I know you ain't got one, so I'm just listening.
well, I have one, but I don't think it's the right movie. I'm leaning towards.
Oh man, stop with that. Just say it.
Well, I'm leaning towards Captain America: Civil War, but
wait. How old is our viewing audience?
Let's say 10.
Nah, see, well,
but,
I will shut the fuck up because I have let my kid watch Civil War and he was not 10.
I know.
I know, yeah.
I would either go with, but then I'm like, it might be a bit much.
No,
maybe we need to do something fun like Three Ninjas 3.
Regular Scott, I'm gonna call you out, dude. That's not acceptable. Because you said it, I want you to redirect that and make it family oriented. You
don't think Civil War is family oriented?
No, it's for the family oriented that all reads comics, and the family that the wife has to suffer through the kid and the dad knowing all about this comic book stuff. So let's redirect that, dude.
That's a real thing.
Because you could have did was Alvin and the Chipmunks a trilogy, or
why would I want to watch that?
You're not a child. Sometimes on the show it's hard to distinguish if you are or aren't. You're not a child.
Listen, I am. Listen. I am who I am. Okay.
No.
All right.
Listen,
you know what?
No. You listen to me. I'm not talking about your inner child. I'm like a 10-year-old kid. Okay?
Then I'll just go with old reliable, the one franchise you can never go wrong with.
Oh God.
Toy Story 3.
Oh, dude, see, you had that in your back pocket the whole time. You were just trying to do this pretense, dude. That was much to do about nothing. Yeah, of course, that's awesome. Yeah.
I just wanted to run the shot clock down to about 2 seconds and then hit a step back jumper with a hand in the face.
Literally, dude. Yeah, guys. I think they're going to try to run the clock down, but we got to do it. We can't do anything about these guys. They're going to run the clock down, dude. Oh, man.
That's great. So, now that we have finished our conversation, it is time for me to let everyone know how to enter a giveaway that we are going to do. So before our final blow, let me go. Ooh, that wasn't bad. It was almost as good as your shots fired. Pew pew pew.
Pow pow.
We're going to be giving away a Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC t-shirt. All you have to do to be entered is share the show, either on Twitter or on Facebook. You have to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter to be able to be eligible. And I want you to comment, and you are going to decide what Uncle Oz or Mr. Killmonger will be having a conversation about next week.
Am I allowed to be in this?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, to be entered into this contest, all you have to do is share the show, okay? Either on Facebook or on Twitter. And then comment on what you want Uncle Oz to have a Killmonger conversation about on our next episode.
It can be social. It can be
anything
movie,
you want.
Sci-fi. It can be literally anything you want. So, anything you want to have me have a Killmonger conversation about, let's make it happen. I look forward to it.
And I'm going to block him so he won't even know what you pick. So I won't even tell him until the show starts.
Wait, you can block people on Twitter? Oh, wait. Okay.
Okay. All right. But yeah, and also for next week, a little tease for next week. Not only will we be announcing the winner of our giveaway, we are going to have a special guest on. I'm not gonna give it. Okay, actually, I won't give it away. We're gonna have
Just say it, dude. Hey, wait. I'm sorry. Like, look.
I've had enough of you.
No. I have enough of you. This is regular Scott every time. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen next show. You need to tell people what's going to be on the next show. Trust me, okay? Please.
Is it just no? I think it's because you want to know what's going to happen on the next show.
I will, as your co-host, as your partner in crime, as George Clooney said to Chris, Batman and Robin, as your brother.
While their nipples were rubbing.
While the nipples are rubbing, dude. I'm like, yo, man, you don't want to know what this guy's. You don't want to know what that bat suit's going to do.
Oh my god, dude. Okay. All right.
Hey. I would love to know what we're going to do for the next show. It would make me happy.
We're gonna have the kingpin of Defy Life, Mr. J.R. Glenn from the Defy Life podcast from the flagship, joining us next week, and we are going to be discussing why Batman, Superman, and the Joker could go on a 10-year hiatus, and it'd be a good thing. So,
I love it, dude. It'll be a good conversation. I look forward to it.
We have that to look forward to. We will be announcing the winner of our giveaway. Again, all you have to do is share the show, either on Facebook or on Twitter, and comment what you want Uncle Oz to have a Killmonger conversation about next week. We will announce the winner. You will be getting a free Marvel vs. TV. Oh my goodness! I just said Marvel vs. TV. Marvel vs. DC T-shirt.
One second. All throughout this whole show, what are you missing on television that you need to be watching? Because everything has been visual to you. It's like, oh yeah. So I got tested for today for TV. Well, you got tested for TB or TV?
I'm trying to ask Jay for the instrumental to his beat while I'm watching the music.
God, dude, this dude, man. Hey, yo,
man, it's been a rough one.
You need a drink. You need to just chill out for a second. I know you're stressed, dude. It's okay.
It's time for the final blow. Oz, what you got for the final blow?
My final blow. Man, I feel like I've said everything, but so here, my final blow for this one is everybody. Well, don't laugh. I was taking a second to collect my thoughts, and this guy is clowning, dude.
Sorry, but you just took a dramatic pause.
Yes, because hey, man,
I'm sorry.
Man, look, dude, we're in some times right now. My final blow is going to be this. We aren't on a planet. We don't live on a planet. Think about this. We live on a spaceship. And it orbits the sun. I know you could think of it as Snowpiercer. It's just going around, but we're all we got, man. I ain't see no aliens. I don't know what's out there. I speculate. I want to believe that there's something, but I just see my fellow people out there, man. And how we treat each other is just that's everything, man. And again, it's up to, I hate the burden to be on us, but it's up to the nerds, man, because we see things differently from other people. We just do. We see things that other people don't. We notice the little things. We notice the colors in a puddle of water. It makes us think about, oh my God, that looks like this person. We imagine, and that's the thing. We imagine other things, So we just gotta. It's up to us to make a better world. And this is not on some hippie trip because Lord knows I hate hippies. But it's just we gotta be better. We gotta be better. And the only reason I say we can be better is because we can be better. And the reason why we got to be better, because we got to be the best we can be, because when we actually get these aliens, so we can be like, yo, we're humans, man. This is what we are. That's my final blow.
All right. I don't know how to follow us meeting the aliens and telling them that's who we are, but
yeah, and again, it's like, oh, well, you think you're better than me because you're a human? No, not any of that. It's like saying, yo, man, we are unique. We are unique.
What if I am better than the alien, though?
Dude, so here, I'll break it down.
No, I'm just playing.
I'll break it down to you in Star Trek world. Vulcans are twice and a half as strong as humans are. Klingons have, but extra, like they're built stronger, but they're a little bit stronger than humans, but not as strong as Vulcans. You know, so but everybody has their unique thing, man.
True that. For my final blow, as always, I will be shouting out a different podcast this week. I got two. I'll be shouting out. We were reviewed, Oz. I don't know if you know this or not. This might be the first time you're hearing this. By the Regulators podcast. They're on Spotify. You can find them there. They reviewed our podcast, gave us a star rating out of 5, pros and cons, and it was a very good listen. You should check it out. So that's another good podcast. They review a whole host of different podcasts. So if you're on the fence about one, they probably reviewed it. Definitely check them out.
They gave us a star rating.
They gave us a rating on a 5-star out of 5 stars. Sorry.
The way you said it was like they gave us a star rating out of a.
No. We didn't do that bad.
I was like, wow. I look forward to hearing when they had this.
We didn't do that bad, but the unfortunate thing is, I don't know if we quite improved on the things they said we didn't do well.
I promise you, we probably haven't. But let them know.
But listen, it is a really informative show. I actually listened to a couple podcasts that I was looking at just to see if. They were on there, and and it was good. So you can find them at Regulators on Twitter, REGURATERS, and also check out the Nerd Cantina. Steve and Ken over there, they do a great job. Steve, my nemesis. You probably see us going back and forth if you're part of the Nerd Cantina group. If not, on Facebook, if you follow me on Take a Knee, sometimes Steve and I will go at it. That is my nemesis. So shout out to him.
Keep doing your thing, Steve.
But
keep doing your thing, Steve.
Their last podcast, they actually talked about a huge Tom Hanks movie that is going to be going exclusive to Apple TV Plus, and how that could potentially affect movies going forward. It's a very good conversation. They go real deep into a lot of nerd talk, a lot of tech talk. They've been keeping up with the shuttle launches going on, so very informative over there. So definitely check out the Nerd Cantina. You can find them anywhere you get your podcasts as well. You can find them on Twitter at the Nerd Cantina. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Need4MarvelVsDC. That's the number 4. You can also email us at Need4MarvelVsDC@go2FileLife.com. Find us at thefilelifepods.com. Look forward to next week's show. Remember, we have our giveaway. Share the show, Facebook or Twitter. Comment what you want Oz to talk about on his next Killmonger conversation. Oz, tell everyone we'll talk to him next week.
And as usual, people, peace and chicken grease.
And y'all have a good time, because we're going to have a good time until we talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
No, that's my thing. My thing.
Peace.
You don't see me yelling chicken grease. What is that?
What you doing on a Sunday? Pow, pow. Pow, pow.
Pew, pew. All right, I need to stop recording.
Good news, people.
Welcome to the Anything, Everything, and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim. Join us as we discuss the latest in everything from entertainment and current events to the craziness that is our real life.
Let's laugh, let's live, let's talk about it. New episode every Tuesday on the Defy Life Podcast Network. And remember, if you're not defying life, then what are you doing? Lynn and Kim.